You're watching Dante's Boxing Nation. Woo!
What about Kell Brook?
Kell Brook?
He said 157 he'll fight you.
I think it's too small.
Too small?
Too small, yeah. My focus on 160 middle division right now. Kell Brook or everybody just trash talk,
Dante's Boxing Nation, what's going on, guys? Well, it looks like the boxing world is still buzzing when it comes to this curveball that was thrown to us yesterday with Golovkin deciding to fight Kell Brook instead of Chris Eubank. There's been serious backlash for Golovkin making this choice. Now, Kell Brook's reaction and comments to the news was pretty brief. He basically just said on his Twitter account, "Thank you all for the respect and the support. Now it's time for me to shock the world. Hashtag to wait, hashtag to time." And it's definitely like we are reliving Canelo versus Khan all over again. Minus Kell Brook not having a glass jaw, but I really don't think it's going to matter. Now, but when I first heard this news, even though I was picking Golovkin to possibly knock out the much smaller Kell Brook, I thought Kell Brook actually had a chance because of his skill set. And what I was doing at first is I was comparing Kell Brook's skills to Chris Eubank's skills. But of course, the big difference is Chris Eubank is a natural middleweight. On top of that, Kell Brook, he has no inside game. And if you don't have some sort of inside game to get Golovkin's respect, and on top of that, you're a natural welterweight, it gives you a very slim chance in this fight. And as you guys seen in that clip, even Gennady Golovkin, he believes that Kell Brook is way too small for him. That's not a good sign. That makes it pretty hard to sell this fight when even Golovkin himself is saying, this guy is just way too small for me. One thing I will say though is, it's really interesting when you think about the fact that a fighter like Kell Brook, who has fighters like Errol Spence, Keith Thurman in his division, and he decides instead of fighting those guys, he would rather take a chance with Gennady Golovkin. To me, it says a couple different things. It says that he believes that even though Gennady Golovkin is going to be the massive favorite in this fight, and he's going to most likely win the fight, this move by Kell Brook suggests to me that he believes Golovkin, at least style-wise, is easier to beat than a Errol Spence or a Keith Thurman. Now, once again, of course, that's just thinking without looking at the size disparity. But if you're just talking about skill, Kell Brook may actually be right. But it just says a lot to me that he's willing to move up 2 weight classes and fight the middleweight champion instead of facing Errol Spence or Keith Thurman next. I have to say, to add on to that, I was talking to Boxing Eagle the other day, and he made a really good point when he said, when Mike Tyson was in his prime and he was the cash cow, you didn't have any light heavyweights, any cruiserweights that was in line jumping at the opportunity to move up 2 weight classes to fight Mike Tyson. There wasn't too many guys, too many smaller guys that was willing to do that. And what it basically tells me is Gennady Golovkin, he is no Mike Tyson. Right now, he is the best middleweight in the world. But at the same time, if you had fighters like Kell Brook, Keith Thurman, Demetrius Andrade, Andre Ward, Floyd Mayweather, and any other very special talent you can think of that was naturally the same size as Gennady Golovkin, I do not think Golovkin would be able to beat those fighters. So even though Kell Brook is looking at things probably just from a skill angle, it's a lot different, of course, when you get in the ring and you realize this guy is naturally 2 divisions bigger than you are. Originally, like I said before, I thought Kell Brook would have a chance. But now that I realize he has no inside game, it makes his chances very slim in this fight. And that's the reason why Gennady Golovkin is drowning in criticism right now. Because, if you really think about it, there were a lot of fighters that were calling out Gennady Golovkin. All the way from James DeGale to Gilberto Ramirez, who I know just recently injured his hand, and Edeslani Lara, Aventel Kurzitse. There's been a couple of guys, super middleweights, that have called out Gennady Golovkin. On top of welterweight Kell Brook, who also called out Gennady Golovkin. So this is who Gennady Golovkin decided to fight, and once again, by reading all the comments in my comment section, this fight truly puts Gennady Golovkin in a lose-lose situation, and it puts Kell Brook in a win-win situation, because we already know Kell Brook, he goes in there and he gets murdered. He was expected to get murdered by the fans. And if he pulls off the upset, he gets the biggest win of the year. So it's win-win for Kell Brook. With Gennady Golovkin, there's really nothing he can do but get this win and take the same type of challenge that Amir Khan and Kell Brook took by moving up in weight and fighting one of the most dangerous opponents in that division. And once again, that's only if he can't get Danny Jacobs in the ring. I know BJ Saunders is not going to fight him, but Danny Jacobs, he's been saying a lot of different things. He said he has to be compensated right, but recently he's been sounding like he wants to fight a little bit more. I really don't know yet. It's hard to say. But if Danny Jacobs and Billy Joe Saunders are not going to fight Golovkin, and Golovkin is not going to fight Lara, who's been calling him out for the last 2 years, the next step is to just move up to 168 and challenge yourself the same way Kell Brook and Amir Khan challenged themselves. You know, when you're known as one of the hardest punchers in the sport of boxing, it would seem like it would only be natural that you would want to move up in weight and challenge yourself facing bigger, stronger guys. Once again, I know that Golovkin wanted to unify the belts, and that's okay. But if you can't unify the belts, there's no reason to stay at the middleweight division. We seen when Adrian Broner was at 135. If Adrian Broner stayed at 135, he would probably still be undefeated today. But Adrian Broner decided to challenge himself, move up in weight, move up 2 weight classes, fight against the much bigger, stronger Marcos Maidana. You know what I mean? And he lost that fight. And then he actually wanted to rematch Maidana, but Maidana didn't even want the rematch. That's a different story. But we've seen Floyd Mayweather. We've seen Manny Pacquiao continue to keep moving up in weight classes. Floyd moved up 5, Manny Pacquiao moved up 8. So if these fighters can challenge themselves that way, Gennady Golovkin, he should be able to do it as well. And I really think eventually Golovkin, he will. I think he will move up to 168. I think he will end up facing Gilberto Ramirez. Tom Loeffler, he said that that's a fight they are interested in. I already know Ramirez is interested in making that fight. So let's see what happens. I think after the Kell Brook fight, if his next opponent is not going to be Danny Jacobs or Edeslani Lara, he should be facing someone at the super middleweight division. Once again, it doesn't make sense, you know, the fighters on the coincidental list that they say have pillow fists like Floyd Mayweather, fighters that they say can't get knockouts like Andre Ward, they're moving up in weight and they're fighting bigger, tougher fighters. So if those quote-unquote pillow-fisted fighters can do it, then surely one of the hardest punchers in all of boxing can do it. And I truly believe Golovkin will do it eventually. He's going to have to do it. Because while Golovkin is going to be fighting Kell in September, Andre Ward moved up in weight and he's going to be facing Sergey Kovalev in November. Now, once again, Abel Sanchez, Golovkin's trainer, he said if Ward were to beat Sergey Kovalev, that would be the biggest fight in boxing. So there's no reason for anyone to say, Golovkin, why should he have to move up to a catch weight between 168 and 175? Because once again, he's facing a guy who jumped up 2 weight classes to fight him. So once again, if Kell can do that, surely one of the hardest punchers in the sport of boxing can do it as well. That's pretty much all I got, guys. I'm on to the next one.
This is Bobby, and you're watching Dante's Boxing